The views and opinions expressed at Enhanced Down Under are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official views of the company. Any content provided by our hosts are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Welcome to Enhanced Down Under. This is episode 9, and we are the official podcast of Enhanced NT. My name is Carol. I'm a registered migration agent.
And I'm Anna, a qualified education agent counselor.
Previously on episode 8, we talked about is it boring in Darwin? And we talked about the festivities or festivals happening in Darwin during the dry season. And to name a few, we had...
the opening of Mindil Beach, which would begin on the 25th of April.
Mm-hmm. And we also have the Greek Glenty, Sea Breeze Festival, Soiree Festival,
and
Friendship
all the concerts,
Festival, arts and music festivals. So to answer the question, is it boring in Darwin?
Definitely not.
And also it depends on your
preference,
really.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally speaking, it's not boring, and especially the 1st of July. Don't forget the Territory Day.
Yes,
1st of July.
the fireworks.
Yeah, where it's like New Year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the recap for our previous episode. So please do check it out. And in today's episode, we will be talking about the proper mindset for migrating. It can be any country.
Could be. Doesn't it have to be Australia?
Yeah, so we'll just go through a few topics of discussion, and we are outdoors today. We decided to get out of the studio. So where are we right now?
At the wharf.
So
Stokes Hill Wharf, is it?
Stokes Hill Wharf. Yeah. So behind us is actually the Darwin waterfront. So we have the Darwin Convention Center to my left. And right behind me is I think that's Charles Darwin University, and there's also Bayside International College. One of our partner schools is also behind one of the buildings behind me. Okay, this is the Stokes Hill Wharf. In front of us, there's a bunch of restaurants. Right now, it's not very busy because it's very early in the morning. I think they open during lunchtime and dinner time. Yeah. So the proper mindset for migrating. So first of all, what is migration? What is your understanding of migration?
It is actually a very broad term. Like, it involves movement of an individual or group to another place or country. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be permanent, or it could also be permanent depending on your plan. So
it can be temporary or on a permanent basis. So just like the birds, when they migrate, right? From
seasonal.
Yeah, when it's winter time, the birds migrate to somewhere warmer, but then they tend to come back to
once the
where
snow
they came
subsides.
From. Yeah. So just generally speaking, migration refers to relocating either for study, work, or family reasons. Relocating temporarily or on a permanent basis. Okay, so I thought that this would be a good idea because we're in the visa services industry, and a lot of people are always looking for a better life, going to relocating to the US, Canada,
New Zealand, Australia, of course.
Australia, one of them.
One of the top destinations.
Or Ireland, any of the European countries. And it's really important, to have the proper mindset before you go through with it. Because it's a big investment.
It is. It
changes your life and your family's lives. just traveling itself.
It involves a lot of experience.
Yeah.
What more about migration,
Yeah.
diba?
And traveling really changes your perspective.
Yes.
You know, like if you just stayed in your country, I mean, that's fine. You stayed in your country. You know, it's not for everyone, right? Some people just are happy and comfortable staying in their home country, and that's fine. But for those people who want to travel and migrate, it's really a pivotal moment in your life.
Life-changing decision. It is.
So it's really important to set realistic expectations when you go to another country, okay? Because I wanted to talk about people who want to come to Australia, for example. I've had clients who are not always successful, and it's not about the visa. They come here, and then it's not what they expected.
All right. So they don't have any visa issues. They got approved.
Yeah, they got the visa, they got approved, but once they got here, it just wasn't what they expected. So that's why the second topic is set realistic expectations. Like you should know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, like just as an example, like my brother, he was actually granted a student visa. But
Which country?
Here in Australia. Yeah, like more than how many years ago now? More than 5 years ago now. Okay, but and he studied in Adelaide, actually, and everything was going well, but it just wasn't what he expected. He felt very isolated because I was in Darwin at the time, and he was studying in Adelaide because he was studying a translating course. He was studying to be an interpreter because he speaks Mandarin. So just looking back on that experience, I didn't help him set the right expectation, of what it's gonna be like if you come here. You're gonna be away from your family.
So he's in Adelaide all by himself.
Yes, he was.
That could be isolating. I understand.
But that's very common for students.
Yes.
You don't know anyone when
you leave home.
Yeah.
You transfer to another country.
So you really leave a big part of yourself in your home country once you travel.
I understand.
Yeah. So you really need to have that proper mindset that, I'm going to be leaving my family. I'm going to be leaving a part of myself. I have to prepare myself for that. So that when you get here or any other country, you're not shocked. You're not culturally and emotionally shocked.
Because you have prepared yourself. You have clearly set your expectations.
Yes. And it's also good to look at experiences of other people. You read up, you
do proper research, you ask around.
Yeah.
Anyone who can give you advice.
Yeah. Because it can really come as a shock to some people, especially if you're used to living with your relatives, your parents, your friends. It can come as a shock. And we have we'll let it pass first. Another example is one of my students who was also granted a student visa, and she was meant to study here in Darwin.
I remember her.
And so everything was. We actually helped her, above and beyond. We helped her find accommodation, make sure she was in a safe area, and when she got here, we orientated her on how to go to school, like where to take the bus and everything, where to shop for groceries.
So she was well provided with information.
Yes, but for some reason, she still felt very lonely, and even though she was living in a shared house, so she's not by herself all the time. She's talking to people every day, and we were, as her agent, I was checking up on her regularly. But for some reason, she still felt very lonely and isolated. So again, that's I think that goes back to not setting realistic expectations and not having the proper mindset to come here. And it's also the language barrier. Her English wasn't very good.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're going to migrate to another country, learn the
Learn their
national
language.
the
Yes.
national language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna come to Australia, I mean, English is the national language. So you must
To
at
be
least
able to communicate with people here, with your prospective employers, your peers, you have to learn English well.
But how do you set your mind? Like,
Before
how do you
coming
prepare?
here,
Yeah.
it involved a lot of preparation. I asked around people who are already here in Australia, clients that I encountered
Yeah.
when I see that, oh, you're from North Territory, particularly Darwin. How's Darwin? And I did my own research too. And I think I already set that expectation that once I come here, life will never be the same.
Correct.
It's not going to be as comfortable as I was in the Philippines.
Correct.
Back in the Philippines, I was so sheltered. Here, I would be on my own. I clearly set that expectation.
Yeah.
And I prepared my son very well on that. That anak or Jacob, life in Australia will not be easy.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the two of us. But eventually, we will, meet people
Yeah.
who will be our support network or
Yeah.
our support system. And yeah, we did.
And also, you have to communicate it with your family and friends.
Yes.
Not
yes.
just yourself,
Yeah.
but also communicate with
Reach out to people.
Yeah. Like, for example, if you live with your parents, or in your household, whomever you live with in your household, communicate with them that this is going to be what it's like. I mean, for us, when we migrated like 7 years ago, I don't think we really have that problem because I took my whole family with me. Yeah, and I didn't tell my neighbors that I was in this sort of just, hey, where are they? Where's everyone? So we didn't have that problem, but I did set an expectation with my family that if we don't become permanent residents, we'll go back. That was the mindset I had. If it works out, good. If it doesn't, we have.
So you're open for any opportunities,
yes.
or
So so the setting expectation is different for everyone. For example, if you're coming here to study, then that's what your mindset should be. I'm just coming here to study.
finish your course.
I'm gonna finish my course, and then after I finish my course, then I'm probably going to return home. But if something comes up, then that's a bonus. If not,
Go with the flow. Yeah.
if not, then I'm prepared to go home. So it's all different, yeah, for everyone. So yeah, set realistic expectations. So the next one is cultural adaptation. We touched a little bit about this. Culture. This is very important. Cultural adaptation, as I was telling you before, the student that I had before,
Yeah,
and also my brother.
Sorry.
So they're good examples of people who are not able to adapt to culture. Like even though they know that English is the national language, but for some reason they felt isolated. So yeah, learn the culture. So do you have any suggestions how a person can learn about it?
Mingle with the locals. That's the
What
best
if they
way to
haven't
do
been
it.
here before, like before they even leave the country?
Well, do your research first.
Yeah, that's really it.
Research.
Yeah, watch YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube would be that helped me a lot. YouTube.
Oh, did you watch YouTube?
I did. And YouTube, and I ask around. Do your own research.
Yeah.
So
And
at least
there's so many
know.
bloggers,
Yes.
vloggers now who like video their daily life.
Yes. So at least you'll have this idea of where you are going to, the culture of the place that you are going to be visiting.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cultural adaptation. Especially if you're picky with food, you should know But here in Darwin, we're very spoiled. I was telling my husband, we're very spoiled here in Darwin because we have like all the food that
yes.
we're used to back home.
Yes.
We can find it here.
I actually don't miss Filipino food because we have it
Yeah,
here.
we have it here. We're very multicultural
Yeah.
here. So
You want Japanese food, you can find it around.
yeah, Japanese,
Thai
Korean
food,
food.
Right? It's here.
Yeah. So yeah, you won't feel very homesick here, I think. I mean, for us Filipinos. you
Yeah,
know.
for us, it's okay.
So that's why you should like you said, you should, once you do get here, if you're lucky enough to get your visa and you come here or to any other country, you should really seek out your community groups.
Yes. That's what I did. I before coming here, I already got in touch with my church mates.
That's good.
Yeah. So when we got here, they welcomed us. They visited us, brought us some goodies. So now they are one of my support system.
And if not, if you don't go to church, you can always look for other community
Yes.
groups.
Sports, you want to do sports?
yeah.
We have a lot here in Darwin.
Yeah. Or if you're entrepreneurial like me, you could seek out business groups.
Yes.
Here we have NT Chamber of Commerce as one of the business groups. But if you like you're into hospitality, there's also an industry group or an association related to that. So really seek out your church group or community group or whatever interest group.
And I
you
think
have.
it's also good that you research online. For example, here in Darwin, it has a community group, Darwin City. They have this listing of events posted on their website. And it's various events depending on your interest. It's about pet, it could be around student, it could be about students looking for work or just, a simple get-together of people who love outdoors. So check out their webpage. It would really help you a lot.
And also join Facebook groups.
Facebook groups, yes.
Yeah. Like there's this Facebook group called I Love Darwin. Promoting unsponsored. Yeah, there's this Facebook group called I Love Darwin, and a lot of people would post. I would notice they would say, "Oh, I'm new here in Darwin and I'm looking for recommendations." And everyone's just so friendly. They actually, engage. People are just so happy to give their 2 cents. Even with the young families, if you're a person who has small kids, there's a special Facebook group just for you, and you're looking for play groups for your children. So when my kids were younger, I used to join those groups. But now they're older. I'm not so active anymore. So these Facebook groups, they come and they go. It depends on which point of your life you are in.
I agree on that because my son would soon be joining this football team, and I found I found the information about their team via Facebook.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, and when my kids were babies, I joined this baby wearing group. Yeah, and
interesting.
yeah, baby wearing group where we wear our babies. So I would, because I didn't know anyone. And
what do you call that?
It's called a wrap, a baby wrap.
Baby wrap.
Or a
You just
carrier.
wrap them. Yeah,
Baby
carrier.
wrap or a carrier. So because I had 2 babies here in Darwin, I was part of that group for like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, and I ended up being the admin. In the end, I was the admin, and I have all
Is that why
these
you bring
reps.
adobo during the meetings?
No, that's
another
swim
group.
That's a swim group.
All right.
Yeah. What was the name of their? I can't remember the name of the swimming group anymore. But yeah, so I'm a baby wearing educator. But now I'm not very active. So like I said, it comes and goes depending on where you are in your point in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's cultural adaptation. Okay. And another topic is emotional resilience.
Oh.
So that's also very important, emotional resilience.
Yeah.
Because
You have to be prepared.
like I said, you're leaving a part of you behind in your home country. So you really have to say goodbye.
You have to deal with homesickness.
Yes. I mean, even if it's just a temporary
It is.
basis.
Even if it is, we
remember,
study for 6 months.
We had a we had someone in our shared house who was very homesick.
Yes,
And it was only
yes.
for less than 3 months. Already wanted to go home to his family.
During his first week. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Even just the first week, you would think, oh, we told him, you're so lucky, you got your visa, and you can work.
Everything is going
full-time. You have an
smoothly.
employer.
Yeah.
You have a family here. You have your parent here, but still, it's the emotional resilience. It's different for everyone. So we're telling you this to you right now. If you're watching and you're thinking of migrating to Australia, you really have to address that. Like,
Yeah.
do I have the emotional resilience to leave my home or my family here in the Philippines,
Because
or in whatever country?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, homesickness is inevitable. I experienced that during my first 2 months here, but you have to deal with it.
Yeah, you can't just say, oh, okay, I got a visa now, I'm gonna go. No, because once you get here, it will just come as a shock to you, and you just have to prepare for it. So if you have parents or aunties who are wanting to financially support you to come to Australia, and it might be all exciting at first, and you're just eager to jump on it, step back and
You have to consider a lot of things, particularly
internalize
your emotions. Yeah.
internalize it first. Okay? Yeah. So that's emotional resilience, guys. So finally, I mean, there's so many other areas here, but I don't want to go through all of them. I mean, financial preparedness, that's a given. That's
Yeah.
a given. Of course, you're gonna go to another country. Of course, you have to be financially prepared, and health and well-being. That's kind of like emotional resilience as well. Stories of successful migrants. So that's another good tip. Like, look at greener pastures. Stay tuned with green.
Yeah, the season 2.
with our next series of greener pasture, where we invite people who have already migrated to Australia
To share
and
their stories.
yeah, they share their stories. So listen to that, tune into that, so that you will have an idea of how people dealt with their own journey. Because everyone's different. Everyone has a unique story, right?
And another tip, don't just focus on, when you do your research, don't focus on the negative ones or the sad stories.
Oh, correct.
What I did also, of course, you have to strike a certain balance. I also made a research about those successful migrants, and that what they thought about migrating, and that it was the best decision that they ever made, moving to another country, because it offered them new opportunities and growth as an individual. So I'm not saying that you avoid the what you call downers.
Yeah.
But of course, when you are moving to another country, you also have to arm yourself with some positivity.
Yes, of course. And like I said before, things will not always go according to your plan.
That's true.
So always be prepared to go back home. Like us, in my family, we were prepared to go home if things didn't work out for us. But praise God, it did. So yeah, just be prepared. That
Consider other options as well.
yeah. So, and finally, talk to a professional, like a qualified education agent counselor if you're studying, and if you would like to migrate permanently, talk to a registered migration agent such as myself, and we can help you plot out your we do that, right? Like
You do. That's what you said. Most of the time, it's above and beyond of our duties.
yeah. I mean, we're not just education agents or registered agents. Sometimes we're even marriage counselors. You know,
Oh.
maybe we should also
Should we
get a
charge
license.
extra?
No, we don't charge extra. But maybe we should also get a license as therapists.
Yeah, we can also act as your therapist.
But disclaimer, we're not licensed
We're not.
marriage counselors, okay? But we're just lightening the mood that we do go above and beyond our duties, that because you know when
It's because we understand also.
yeah.
We can emotionally connect
Yeah,
to
we're
your
good
struggles,
listeners.
and so we can listen. So it's not just about work.
Yeah. But that just goes to show that, you know, when you migrate to a new country, you do encounter hardship.
A lot.
Yeah. So be prepared for hardship, emotional challenges, isolation. You have to be prepared for that. And that's why it's important to have a mentor or a counselor. You know, like even if it was in another country, it doesn't have to be Australia. It's important that you have someone, a contact there that you can talk to.
Yeah. Can I share another story? It's one of our clients. Of course, she got married, applied for a partner visa.
Yeah.
She was thrilled, of course, to be able to join her husband in Australia. But when she got here, I cannot say that the husband has had a change of heart, but she was treated differently.
You know, that's actually a lot more common than you think.
Yeah.
It's a very common story.
I felt bad for her, but she's lucky that her partner visa application has already been lodged. So the husband cannot just, back out anytime. But she's suffering emotionally. And
Because it's the cultural difference.
yeah, the cultural difference.
Yeah.
And she cooks this type of food, which fine
He doesn't
like.
eat it.
Oh yeah. So simple things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, she hasn't adapted to her environment yet, because surrounded by oldies, by old
Yeah.
people, and she feels that she cannot connect with her community. But eventually, she became tougher.
Is that through your advice?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Because I told her, no, you have to toughen up. You're already here. I mean, you left everything in the Philippines. You're already here. So it's up to you. You have to ask yourself, what is it that you want to attain? What is your goal? And then you have to
Yes.
focus on that goal. So if you aim to become a permanent resident here in Australia, well, look, you have already lodged your application. It's ongoing. It's happening.
Yeah.
Then you just have to help yourself.
And you have to adapt. It's like what we
You have
said
to
before,
adapt.
cultural adaptation.
And
There will be a cultural barrier.
And you know what? That's very good, because she's slowly adapting. She found herself a job, a capsicum picker now. See?
A what, sorry?
Capsicum picker, like bell pepper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She found herself a job. Soon she'll have her own money. Then I hope things would
Yeah.
improve for her.
So good thing she has someone like you to talk to,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Unfortunately, she has no relatives here in Australia, so she just talks to me.
But I'm sure through your advice, she's probably starting to get to know people around
Yes,
her.
yes.
Yeah, because it's important to have that face-to-face interaction.
It's still different, of course,
Yeah.
face to face.
Yeah. All right. So you talked about long-term planning. So yeah, plan what you're going to do, because if you don't plan, if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail.
Precisely.
Yeah. All right. So just going through the other topics here. So we have community building, which you've already mentioned. Long-term planning, stories of successful migrants, expert advice. Is there anything else you would like to add for the proper mindset?
You have to prepare yourself for everything. I'm personally speaking for myself. Prepare to leave your home. I'm missing my parents until now. There's not a day that goes by that I don't miss them. But I think the most important thing is to reach out to people. You don't hold it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm very lucky that I have found friends here. Carol,
Yeah.
my boss.
I don't say that. So it's okay.
Tristan. So I have my
Yeah.
own support group here. So and I reach out to my family. It's easier now because we have
Yeah.
technology. So
But you know, I think for us women, we're more
expressive.
open. Yeah, we're more open
we can
to
express it
communicating.
more.
But for men, I think it's they're more.
I think it's their nature.
Yeah. So guys, you have to really learn to communicate with other people.
And I think Australia has this lifeline and Beyond Blue. It's like a support or like a counselor via phone. You can
Yeah.
contact them through phone without charge. It's for free.
Yeah, that's a good thing with Australia. They have these free services that anyone can access.
Yes,
You
it's
don't have to
accessible
be.
to anyone.
You don't have to be
You-
a permanent
citizen,
resident or a
permanent
citizen
resident.
to
As long as
access.
you're in Australia, you contact them, contact their hotline. They'll be
Yeah.
able to provide you advice.
Yeah, we should put that those
Information.
those free numbers that they can contact, because we might have people watching who are going through emotional stress. I actually have clients like that. I don't have a lot of those, but I do get them. Like they come to me for advice on what visa to apply for because they're experiencing emotional stress. So usually in those cases, it's a medical treatment visa that they would need, but it's really serious. You know, like they're unable to sleep, to work.
So the type that actually needs medication.
Therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah, they need therapy and counseling. Yeah.
Lifeline and Beyond Blue, I think they'd be able to provide you with initial counseling. Depending on your situation, they might be able to provide you with information on where to go for professional advice.
Yeah, like they would refer you to sometimes it's shelters or councils in your area. Here in Darwin, we don't have a lot of those. We do have a few of those. So some are exclusive to women, and some are exclusive to
okay.
men, and some are mixed. So it depends. Yeah. Yeah, so we should put that in the information on the comment section for
Yeah,
other
next
people.
time.
Yeah.
But for now, Google it, Lifeline or Beyond Blue.
Yeah. Okay. So that pretty much wraps our topic for today. So again, our topic was the proper mindset for migrating. Okay. So thank you for joining us on this video podcast.
Whether you're an international student aspiring to study abroad or a professional looking to work in Australia, it is essential to seek professional advice, stay informed, and embrace the opportunities that migration brings.
And here at Enhance Down Under, we will help you choose the right path for your career goals. Up until next time, my name is Carol.
I'm Anna.